Hey folks, Brian, we get to play RQG tonight. Let's see, last time we left the party, they were in the middle of a fight against some brew in what turns out to be a torture chamber. Arestra had previously hacked the leg off of um, a woman amongst all these brew. So the party, they move into the room. There's two brew on the far side of the rack table, and but one gets hacked into the gut by a Restra with her axe, which took acid damage. And the other one got impaled in the abdomen by Juchi with his dragon bone bow. So they went down. Party came around. They did try to heal themselves. Whack, whack, whack. Killed them all off. Arestra's axe did take more acid damage. So it's like down from the dragon fire and the two acid attacks. It's down three or four total hit points because she's got repair and had cast it twice during that combat or in between the combat. So they investigate the room. There's a cage in there. There's a fire pit with irons and stuff, and there's the rack as I mentioned, and there's a couple of tables with various sorts of torture implements on them. And then there's this hallway with like three um, cells in it. And in the second one is this fox, large fox creature, huddled up in the corner, all shivering, hiding, trying to get as small as it can, kind of thing. The party, Miriam starts to sing to it, try to be nice, that kind of thing. They open up, they, oh, they almost took some diseases, but they made their saves. And so they weren't going to mess with the brew bodies after that. But they did find keys on the woman's body. Oh, they did tie her up and did first aid to try to stop her bleeding, but at that point it was too late. She was already dead. She bled out. But they did rip her mask off, and it was, in fact, a human female, and she had burn scars all over the lower part of her face, which is why she had the mask. Um, but anyway, back to the fox creature, right? So they get the keys off of the woman's body because she had keys, and they open this cell up. And they try to convince the fox to with some food, and it freaked out, so it starts running back and forth to the corners, like it's trying to get farther away, faster. And so we back off, relax, we get out of the way, we leave the door open so we can get out, and then Dave, then as they're leaving, is talking to it. Okay, the the gate's open. You can leave whenever you want. We're going to leave the other door open. Just, you know, whatever you need. We suggest you don't stick around. And then they came back out. And they investigated the double doors. There's a hallway on their side. Juchi casts his cat eyes so that he can see fully, even with the limited light. Or see fully with the limited light. He looks through, and I ran into issues with Owlbear again in the light because I lit the torches in the hallway, but everybody could see it, even though there was obstructions in the way. So I got to figure that out. Anyway, so he looks through, and he can see the entire length of the hallway. At the end, it opens up to a room to the north. There's some fabric hanging at the end of the hallway in front, and there's a wall to the north of that. So they decide, okay, we're gonna come in. They're casting their. I don't think they're casting preparation spells just yet. So they're moving down the hallway. As they get about 2/3 of the way down the hallway, well, they're starting entering the room piece kind of, and I had to make listen rolls, and Summer critted hers so she can hear movement behind the curtain. So she stop, and points to the curtain, and lots of them, many. So they move up to the curtain, and of course they've got their own light, so that's kind of shining out. So it's kind of obvious, more obvious than the regular light in the room, right? So as soon as they get to the curtain, because of the mechanics of the way I had built the obstructions, I just moved the combat in front of the curtain instead of behind the curtain. So they get to the curtain, two brew pop out. There's two brew behind them with spears. Engage, fight goes on, end the round. Brew from the other curtain, because this room actually has another curtain up there to the north. Brew come pouring out of there. So they're all fully engaged, and the party's like, okay, we need to back out of this. It's gonna become a slugfest. We need to get back into the hallway where we can narrow it down to just two guys in front to be the bulk. In the process of, okay, we're going to have to defend for an entire round, and then do the disengage option, right? So they defend for the entire round, and then strike rank 12 they step back one hex, and then on strike rank 1 they're disengaged, they can do full movement. Now Juchi was doing a 2 hex spear in between Arestra and Davin, was already disengaged. So after he did his thrust, he started to back up. And Miriam saw the other brew coming and started doing her sling thing. And as everybody's doing their disengage, she got actually a crit on one of the guys in the leg. Put him down. Arestra, during her disengagement, fumbled her parry and ended up slinging her axe 6 meters in direction, I think it was 2, northeast, right? So northeast, went right to the wall. So it hit the wall, skittered down the wall, went all the way to the end of the room, hit the far wall, and fell to the ground. Completely gone. Oh, and the last attack that occurred was a fumble, but it was just lose your next attack. They did kill one of the brew fairly quickly, but he got stepped on over by another brew. As the brew start piling in, and then they disengaged, did their backup. At this point, it's getting late, especially for one of my players. So hey, do we want to stop here, or do you guys want to go ahead and start the next round? You guys get to move and set up however you want. They said no, we'll just stop right here. So that's where we stopped. By the way, all that's in the live play, so if you like to watch that kind of stuff, you can see all the maneuvering around and the creatures and the pawns and hexes and all that good fun stuff. It was a good session. A lot of fighting, some investigation, trying to figure stuff. What in the world is that fox? What's going on with that? They haven't figured that out yet. It hasn't happened. But the door behind them, they left the double door they went through into this hallway, into the room, they left open. So there's a possibility of them learning something from that. And there's a possibility of something else not so good happening from that. We'll have to see. Happy gaming.